Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we'll be going over some poses that are designed more for the core. We'll be doing a bit of a breathing exercise called the breath of fire, just to help bring some heat and energy into the core. So some of these poses will be stretching the core or strengthening it or exercising, and just kind of bringing an awareness to the core so that we're a little less tense in that area throughout the day. So we'll start with the breath of fire. This is a very fast-paced breathing exercise. We'll just be doing a little bit of it just as an introduction so that you're comfortable with it. So it starts with a really strong exhale by using the diaphragm to push all the air out of the lungs and belly. So start with your hands on your belly, sitting in a comfortable seated position. Take a deep breath in, feeling the belly expand into the hands. And then for the first exhale, just kind of engage your diaphragm, squeezing the muscles in to push all the air out. You'll feel that the air naturally flows back into the lungs and belly after that forceful exhale, so you don't really have to put much effort into breathing in. And then you just repeat that cycle over and over again for the breath of fire. So we'll start with just 10, just to ease into it. So take a deep breath in. And then begin. Good, so that was 10. Now let's just warm up our arms with some arm circles. We'll start going forwards, just big circles with the arms. Slowing it down a little to feel all the muscles that we're stretching in there and warming up. And then switching, going backwards. Breathing throughout this whole practice. And back to center, hands on the knees. Let's do 10 more of the breath of fire. So bring the hands back to the belly. Inhale. And 10 breaths. Good. And now we'll do a quick little twist for the torso. Also helps stretch the muscles in the core. So still sitting in your cross-legged position, bring your left hand to the right knee. Bring the right hand close behind the back, about the mid-back on the mat behind you. Just gently allowing your right shoulder to twist backwards. The left hand is relaxed. We're not forcing ourselves into the twist at all. And gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, feeling the chest and ribs expand. Exhale. And on your next inhale, feel the belly expand. And exhale, back to center. Take your right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the back on the mat. Gentle twist, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale deeply into the belly. One more breath. And back to center. We'll move into cat and cow, so swing your knees over to the side so you can come into your tabletop position. Fingers spread wide on the mat, elbows facing each other, hands about under your shoulders, knees under your hips and about hip width distance apart. So from here, drop the belly and lift the chin into cat or cow pose. As you inhale in this pose, feel the belly expand and you should feel a gentle little stretch in the abdominal muscles. On your exhale, push your hands into the mat, allowing your head to drop, the back arches, moving into cat pose. Engage your core and tuck the belly in towards the low back. Inhale, drop the belly, moving into cow pose. Inhale deeply into the belly, feeling that stretch. Exhale, back into cat pose. Really squeezing the abdominal muscles in, and then inhaling, dropping the belly, cow pose. We'll do a couple more of these. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Now walk your hands forward and gently lower yourself down onto the mat. Keep your hands under your shoulders. And on your inhale, engage your glutes. Breathe deeply into your belly and allow your belly to balloon open with air, lifting you up a little bit. So just enough for your shoulders to rise up off the mat, keeping the glutes engaged so that we're protecting the lower back. And as you exhale, just lower back down to the mat. We'll do this just once more. Inhaling deeply, allowing your chest to come up, engaging the glutes, pushing the hands into the mat, squeezing the shoulder blades together, gazing forward, really feeling the belly expanding and pushing into the mat. And exhale, back down. Now lift your feet up so that only your thighs are on the ground. And then with your hands, reach towards your feet. If you can reach them, that's great. If you can't, just keep reaching your arms towards your feet and your feet towards your hands. And that's where you'll be for this pose. If you can, just grab onto the fronts of your feet and push the feet into the hands. Keeping the legs aligned with the hips, so squeezing them towards each other. The glutes are strong. And keep breathing into your belly, feeling it lift you up as you inhale and lower down slightly as you exhale. Inhaling, ballooning up. Exhaling, softening into the mat. One more breath here. And exhale, release your hands and feet back down to the mat. Rest your head on the ground for one moment. And then push your hands into the mat to come back up onto your hands and knees. Swing your knees forward so you can sit back and bring your legs in front of you. We'll quickly stretch our shoulders and legs in a reverse tabletop pose. So bring your hands just about a hand length from behind your hips. Point the fingertips towards your hips and keep the elbows a little bit bent here. You may choose to stay here. This might be a very nice stretch for the shoulders already. If you do stay here, just keep conscious breathing into your belly area. If you'd like to go into the full reverse table pose, plant your heels into the mat and push up with your heels and hands, lifting the hips up. You can lift up any amount. Maybe this feels better for you today, or going up the full table, reverse table pose. Just feeling into the shoulders there. And as we're in this pose, keep breathing into the belly, feeling it expand on the inhales and relaxing the muscles on the exhales. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, gently lowering back down to the mat. Keep your knees bent in this pose. We'll be moving into boat pose. So keeping your feet planted on the mat for the time being. Plant your hands behind your thighs. Slowly tilt backwards until you can find a place of balance. So maybe balancing on the tips of your toes here until you can find balance. And then play around with lifting maybe just one leg at a time. Maybe both legs out parallel to the floor. Or even legs straight all the way up if you can. We're keeping the core very engaged here. You can hold on to the backs of your thighs or if it's in your practice today, extending your arms out or up, just keeping the focus on your belly. So if it's easier, you can also put your feet up against something else, maybe the wall or a couch, just so you can focus more on the core and not the leg lifting. One more breath in this pose. And then lower the feet back down to the mat. Now we'll move into Shavasana. This was a quick practice today, just to get the core nice and warmed up. So laying down on the mat with your palms facing up, just allowing yourself to relax into the ground, feeling all the muscles in your core relaxing after all that work. Now bring your hands to your belly, and for the last bit of this practice, just focus on inhaling deeply into the belly where your hands are. So feeling the belly rise up as you inhale, and feeling it lower as the hands fall deeper into the body on the exhales. As you breathe into the belly, feel the gentle stretch in the muscles on your inhales. And on your exhales, gently push all the air out. And feel all your abdominal muscles relax just a little bit more. You can stay in this corpse pose, Shavasana, for as long as you'd like. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, roll over to one side, push your hand into the mat to come back up to seated. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.